vinyl community, Clip the Vinyl Cheapskate here. Doing my very last, best of 2022 vinyl finds. This one's my Psych, Prog, rock, all that stuff all mixed together. Probably what I got most of this year was that type of stuff. So it's a big pile. I'm going to show the whole pile of. It's a big old pile of stuff. This was one of my best finds last year, and that's what we're listening to right now. Point Blank, self-titled album. Good, like, kind of like heavy guitar, boogie, southern rock stuff. Really good stuff. Kind of an underrated album in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, listen to that. It's ripping. But I think it's a good backdrop for best psych rock, you know, all that stuff. We'll start off with this one because it's like, this one's like more on the new wave end of things. I probably should have put it with my punk one, but I wanted to put it in there. Dr. Feelgood, Malpractice. I just got into this band recently, and it's one that, like this, not recently, but this year got into this band, and it was because of the vinyl community that I discovered it. I think somebody in the vinyl community showed it. I don't remember who. It might have been. I think it might have been Ryan Kidd, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that one's in there. It's one that I kind of forgot to put in with my punk stuff, but I wanted to mention it because it was one of my favorite records this year. I listened to that a ton while I was getting into it. Really want to find Down by the Jetty, but that'll happen eventually. That one's a little pricier. But now let's get into the real stuff, like the heavy rock. This is like hard rock, prog, psych. It's all mixed together. This is in no type of order whatsoever. I'm just pulling from the stack, whatever order it's in. But this one is probably my best bargain of the year, for sure. And that was this Dust self-titled LP. Somebody on Facebook Marketplace was selling $5 records. And this was on the last page of the thing that he was selling, and a bunch of Rory Gallagher, which I also got. So that was an awesome deal, and a bunch of early Yes I got with this. But this was the one that I was like stoked about. And finding this for $5 from somebody is pretty sweet. So he sold me this, and everything was $5. About four or five Rory Gallaghers and the two first Yes albums, and they were all $5 a piece. So pretty sweet. Dust is classic, awesome hard rock, kind of like some southern rock influence on this one. They get a little heavier on the next album, but this is a good album. Dust, and then Dust is famous for having Mark Bell on drums, who is Marky Ramone. Another one, this one's in the psych realm, and it's like mostly electronic. White Noise and Electric Storm. This is just like kind of like a mind fuck album. It's really good. Good stuff. All electronic. There's no guitars or anything on here, but it sounds like it's written like a rock album, like a psych rock album or something. But it's really, really good. Electric Storm, White Noise, and Electric Storm. Great stuff. This was a surprise how much I liked this one. And this one was also one I got a good deal on. Hawklords. This is basically Hawkwind, but they had some kind of legal thing where they couldn't use the name, or it's members of Hawkwind. It has something to do with Hawkwind, but Hawklords, this is a more like, this is a 1978 album. It's on Charisma. There's some space rock in here. There's actually a little bit of like a power poppy feel to this one. But this was a record that I played a ton. It like surprised me how much I liked it, and I played this a crap load. Great album. But this, I'm stoked that this is in the collection. I don't think this one's going anywhere for a while. Guru. Wanted this one for a while. I've been getting into the German rock, krautrock stuff over the last year. So there's a bunch of that I picked up this year, but this is one of the best stoner rock, heavy feels to this one. Hard psych, kind of stoner rocky, really, really good. But Guru kind of held the more rock end of the krautrock krautrock, and they held the more rocky end of krautrock. So really, really good. This is heavy. If you like modern stoner rock, this is a good one to jump into. Guru UFO. One I was after for a while, and finally found a copy that was in my price range. Carolina County Ball by Elf. Elf was Ronnie James Dio's first band, and this is repressed from this is from the 80s, I think, but it's on Safari Records, and I'm stoked to have this. This is like southern rock, but Dio's singing on it, and it's just really good stuff. Basic southern rock stuff, but really well done. Elf was a good band. I've got 4 of the Elf records that I think I've got 4 Elf LPs now. So I'm rounding out that collection. This one was in a local record shop, and you don't see these in local record shops very often. Geordie. Hope you like it. Geordie is Brian Johnson of AC/DC's band before he joined AC/DC. Great, kind of like glam rocky stuff. A little heavy. It's not AC/DC, but it's really good. It's good, heavy glam rock stuff. But yeah, Geordie. Finding this at a record shop, out in the wild, was really cool. It wasn't super cheap, but it wasn't too expensive either. But yeah, really good. It's on the Harvest label, or MGM label, not the Harvest label. It's on the MGM label, but God, what a perfect, the album's in perfect shape. So I'm stoked to have this one. Geordie. Another one that's one of my most listened to records of the year. And this one's borderline not rock, but I put it in there because it's like Prog, Psych. It's krautrock. Kraftwerk. Ralf and Florian. What can I say about this? This is just a great ambient record. Really creative and interesting, and just excellent stuff to just kind of zone out and drink a cup of coffee too, or take a couple edibles, pop on this early Kraftwerk stuff. Really good stuff. This is also, I think, this is also all electronic. I think that the first 2 were a little, I don't think much of Kraftwerk stuff is super rock, but this is where they really moved away from any kind of traditional rock stuff going on. But this was really, really good. This is a great record. I want to find the first 2 Kraftwerk albums, but they keep getting priced out of those. They're a little pricey. I got 4 or 5 records by this person, but this is my favorite of them. Zappa. Mothers of Invention, One Size Fits All. Probably my favorite Zappa album in general. This is just really good. It's Zappa, kind of like fusion-y jazz rock. really good, silly, fun lyrics for a lot of them, but kind of like intelligent. I love Zappa. Zappa's one of my favorite. Not intelligent, like he does. His lyrics are always like kind of childish, but kind of like making a point. I don't know. Zappa's a genius. Love Frank Zappa. This is one that this is probably my favorite one. I think I listened to it on Grown Man Record Night, and then I was like, man, I forgot how good that album is. And then I just bought it on Discogs like 2 days later. I found a copy that was in good shape for a good price, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And I'm telling you, Frank Zappa's great shit. Yeah, man, this Point Blank record's hidden gem here. It's still dirt cheap, but shit, listen to those guitar licks. Here's one I bought from an Instagram person. Instagram guy had 3 records. I think I bought 3 records from this guy early on in the year, but it's a unipack. It's not split, it's a unipack, so I just stuck it in the middle of the unipack. But that's the second Sir Lord Baltimore album. And this is an OG copy in pretty decent shape. It's not the best shape, but it's in decent shape. Show the inside gatefold here. Sir Lord Baltimore, their first album, Kingdom Come, is a complete and utter like heavy rock classic. This one's still got some heaviness to it, but it kind of chills, and it's got like a full side. I think the one song is, yeah, the one side is Man from Manhattan, is like 11 minutes long, and it takes up pretty much that whole side. But still, good stuff. A little more like piano stuff going on here. Not quite as just straightforward heavy, but still a really good album. I was on the lookout for this for a long time, and I was convinced I was gonna have to buy a repress for a while, but then this guy had this and a couple other records that I picked up from him, which probably could have made it this stack, but I really just wanted to keep the ones that I was like super stoked about in there. But yeah, Sir Lord Baltimore, their self-titled sophomore album. Great stuff. Got a little bit into fusion. I'm counting this as prog, but it's really a fusion album. But picked this album up earlier this year for real cheap. Mahavishnu Orchestra, Birds of Fire. And this is an excellent record. But why I'm really showing this is this really put me on to like rocking out and finding some good fusion stuff. Along with, I'm going to mention this guy again, Malia. I really got into him this year too, along with John McLaughlin. McLaughlin was the leader of this band, put out a lot of solo stuff, which is also excellent, which I'm now starting to collect, because I picked up the John McLaughlin and Santana record, and that's excellent too. But the reason I put the Mahavishnu Orchestra, this is the first Mahavishnu Orchestra I picked up, and it really opened my eyes at like there's some really good stuff in the jazz fusion world if you dig for it. But this is an excellent record. Just really well put together, good guitar work, good songwriting, everything. It's just a great record. Mahavishnu Orchestra, Birds of Fire. I'll be right back. Go flip that record. All right. So, four more. I don't know how many I went through so far. More proggy stuff, heavy stuff. finally picked up a copy of this, King Crimson, Court of the Crimson King. This is excellent condition. This was a trade-in. I traded a bunch of records in to Wax Atlas, which is a shop that I've been shopping at for the last over the year. They moved, so I kind of took a break from their stuff, but this was a great find. It was 15 bucks. It's in excellent shape. I picked up a few other King Crimson albums, so my King Crimson collection is growing. But this one was one that I didn't have for a really long time, and I've wanted for a really long time. But yeah, you got a nice copy of Court of the Crimson King. Kind of a basic pickup, but I feel like it's one of the essential ones for the year. More proggy rock stuff. Jade Warrior, their debut album, self-titled. This is a sick, heavy album. This is probably the heaviest they did. They go a little more along the lines of like proggy jazz rock stuff. It's got some issues, but this was pretty cheap. It was like $10, I think. I paid for this one. The record's in excellent condition. It's on the Vertigo label. These were the I think these might have been my first Vertigo swirl labels, but yeah, it's got the Vertigo swirl labels that are coveted on all those Black Sabbath albums. But yeah, just really good, kind of heavy jazz rock stuff, a little on the proggy side. This is excellent. And the first 3 albums by this band are all excellent. So if you can find Jade Warrior or Release or Autumn's Dream, I think is the other one. If you can find any of those 3 albums, they're great. And it's really all, I mean, I like the like later Jazz Warrior stuff, or Jade Warrior stuff, but those first 3 are kind of the ones that you want. Great record. So check that one out. All right. This was one of my best finds of the year because it was a blind buy but I bought it when I was in Berlin earlier this year, and one of like the earlier krautrock groups, and they did the thing where they were like kind of like a theater group, but they did like rock opera type things. Floh de Cologne. This is a really good album, Rockoper, but it's got this cool pull-out thing. And this is one of my best finds of the year because it was like, I went to Germany and found this record, and I was like, this thing looks wild, and I've heard of it before, I'm going to check it out. And another cool thing is, this is an original copy, and it came on this pink vinyl, which was really weird for records from the 70s. This isn't a repress. This is what they put it out on colored vinyl in like 73, I think this came out. Yeah, it was like 70. It was like early set. Well, it was recorded in 71. I think this was released in 73. But really excellent, like kind of weird, out there rock and roll stuff. But yeah, the presentation on this is just excellent. It's some of the coolest artwork I've got this year, but this thing's really cool. But yeah, excellent German rock stuff from the 70s. Like I said, nice and weird. It's a weird album, but in the best possible way. Floh de Cologne. And last but not least, another one I found in a record store. This one I did pay up for a little bit, but I paid I feel like I still didn't pay some of the prices that people are trying to get for this album. But Demian, self-titled album, another hard-hitting, hard rock scorcher right here. John Stilts signed it for me. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. But I think that this and like all the writing on the end, like signed it in here too. I think he signed the label too. But I think that's why this was so cheap. It was only like $40. Yeah, he wrote on the label too, but you can't see the label once that much. On the B-side label, if you can see that. ABC Records. I'm sure I would have got it. I'm probably getting a copyright strike on this one, but that's alright. But the record's in perfect condition. I think it was just the sleeve, really. And this was $40. I think I paid for this. And I think it's well worth it for this record. This is just a stone cold killer album. Rock album. But yeah, this is one of my favorite finds of the year. This and That Dust are probably my two best. And that Kraftwerk are probably my best finds of the year. But yeah, Demian. Excellent stuff. But yeah, that's my weird mix of rock stuff that I got. There's some other stuff I picked up, but I haven't showed it in any other videos. I want to do my next. I'm going to show it in my next vinyl find video, which I'm going to do Friday. It's going to be the wrap up of 2022's vinyl finds. So everything that I've gotten. Well, I might do two because there's a lot. Because I went to sale at Wax Atlas. And I'll show those separate. The budget bin sale. They're doing buy two, get one free. Their budget bin. So I did a big haul from the budget bin, which I'll show later this week, or maybe Friday or later this week, and then I'll wrap up. I'm gonna do both those videos this week. My wrap ups of 2022. Check those out. And also at the end here, be sure to check out the next episode of Anolog Attacks. What are you listening to? I'm going to be on that show, showing 5 records that I've been listening to. There's going to be 4 of us on there, so it'll be a total of 20 records. It usually goes for about an hour and a half, and it's fun. It's a fun one. Watch the past episodes. Had all kinds of cool people on there. I think the last one was Brian from Drop Dead, Nate Wilson from like Devoid of Faith and Fright, and Pat from Ground Zero Salem, another great YouTube channel you should check out. But this week I'll be on with Mike and a few other people, so check it out. I'll put a link to the last episode of the Anolog Attack YouTube channel down below. And anyway, thanks for watching. Happy New Year, everybody. January 2nd. Let's see what 2023 has for us. Cheers, everybody.